This is MaxPreps Friday Night Live, powered by American Family Insurance.
All right, and we've got Steve Spiewak standing by with some updates. Steve, what do you have for us? Do you have any updates on Northeast versus Beach? What's going on there?
No updates on that game yet, Joanna. Actually, an update on Alex Anzalone, who we just saw. His team had a big playoff win tonight out in Pennsylvania Class 2A playoffs. Interesting story to watch from the state of Kentucky. Outstanding receiver James Quick from Trinity was carted off in Trinity's 15-14 playoff victory over arch rival St. Xavier. Apparently, guys, as he was being carted off, he did give 2 thumbs up, but they're still taking him to the hospital as a precautionary measure. But you never like to see that, especially a kid as highly regarded both on the field and off the field as James Quick. He's uncommitted. He's considering Louisville, Ohio State, Oregon, bunch of schools, but by all accounts, a good kid and a tremendous athlete. So we hope that he has a speedy recovery.
You say that again. We never like to hear about that or even see that.
No, it's always scary. It sometimes puts the game into perspective when a kid is taken off the field like that. We hope he's okay. Mm-hmm. We talked about the Beach game earlier, the Northeast Beach game. We want to give you an update on that and just let you know it's still scoreless. It's the end of the first quarter, but you can watch the game if you want to on Quick Score at MaxPreps.com.
Yep.
Go there, watch games around the country as we have reporters, we have fans just like you who are helping us out, updating us on games all across the country.
All right, well, enough. We have to now go move on to the phone because we've got a champ standing by, and you know you don't leave champs hanging standing by. You've got to give them the red carpet carte blanche service. Austin Kafensis, congratulations. First of all, sophomore quarterback from Utah joining us on the line. You just won today. How does it feel?
Oh, it feels really good, to know that my team's 100% behind me and all the hard work that we put in the offseason paid off finally at the end.
Hey, Austin, if I were to ask you, you just won a state title, what are you going to do? What's your answer?
Go to Disneyland.
Hey, good. I said
good answer.
You know what it's like to win a state championship. Nice job, my friend. Hey, I know teams from Utah might not get the attention that, those schools from Texas and Ohio and Florida and California get. Is that frustrating to you? I know you guys played St. John Bosco earlier this year, so you have gone outside of the state, but is it frustrating for you to say, to know that maybe you guys don't get the respect that maybe other teams across the country get?
We've kind of gotten a lot more respect like the past couple of years than we have before, and we've had some great quarterbacks come out of this school, like national leaders and stuff, and playing out-of-state teams definitely is a privilege, and not many teams get to do it, and we got to come out. I guess St. John Bosco is killing it out in the Trinity League out in California. We're kind of like a couple weeks ahead of them, so we don't know how that's going to end up, but it's just nice going out to play them and losing by 1 point, I'd rather get blown out than lose by 1 point because it's so close. But we came out and we got to show what Utah football was about. And it's nice beating the unranked. They were undefeated all year, and we beat them in the state championship game 58-2. So that's nice.
Yeah, that's an understatement, Austin. I'm sure it was very nice. You played outstanding. Earlier today, I referred to you. I compared you to Johnny Manziel, the dynamic quarterback at Texas A&M, but I'm curious, who do you compare your game to? Is there a quarterback out there that you model your game after or kind of liken yourself to?
I don't want to really compare myself to someone that's on a level above me, because they're the best at what they do. They're great. They've put in a lot more work than I have already so far because they're a little older, but any quarterback out there that I get referred to as is a compliment, no matter what quarterback is. If they're in college level, D1, D2, and the pros, everything that they say about me is a compliment, and it's just a privilege to be able to have my name next to their name.
Now, you were our National Freshman of the Year last year, Austin, and now you've won a state title as a sophomore. How do you stay motivated for, you have 2 more years of high school football left. What are your goals, and how do you still have that fire to compete and succeed?
Definitely to get better each year. You don't want to stay the same. The people that stay the same are just going to get passed up. We're going to start in probably a couple weeks lifting and just getting ready for next year already. We get to celebrate this weekend, but then after this weekend, we got to get ready and prepare for next season. You know, we just got done saying bye to all the seniors and stuff, and the coaches are talking to them right now. And, you know, it's a sad thing, but I definitely have faith in our next year's team because they're definitely going to put in the same amount of effort that everyone put in this year, and it definitely paid off.
Now, we know, Austin, that you're hearing from a few colleges. Can you just briefly kind of tell us how that process is going for you, who you're hearing from, where you might be visiting, kind of just a general outlook on your recruitment as early as it is right now?
BYU offered me, and then Utah offered me like a take it or leave it kind of offer. And right now, I was like just worrying about getting that first state championship under my belt, you know. 'Cause last year we were so close, broke my collarbone. And we were just right there, and we lost to that state championship team. But this year, I mean, I can kind of worry about that a little bit. I'm letting my dad and the coaches kind of look at that, and I'll for sure do a couple visits this summer. I did a lot of Texas schools last summer and just visit them and did like the camps and stuff. But this year I'll probably do 5 different ones, and I guess we'll see what happens, and if they like me or whatever, you know, I'll just play for them.
All right, Austin Kafensis, thank you very much for joining us this evening. We wish you the best of luck, and once again, congratulations. He's really making me feel bad. All these high school kids these days are making me feel bad. My goals were just to graduate and go to college, and they are just 4 interceptions. We've got, you know, breaking records, and Austin now a champion, and this is what he said. He know this is what he wanted to do, and now he's moving forward.
Yeah, and if it was ever in doubt, you know, 58-2 is a blowout enough, but how about this? It was 51-0 at the half. And this school, Jordan, you know, they've got a rich football tradition, 11 state titles in their history, but none since 1994. So it has to mean so much to him, a feather in the cap of that team to bring this school back to the heights that it had many, many years ago.
And he said it. That was their goal, and they did it. So congratulations to him and his entire team. But now it is time to take a live look outside and see if they can make us feel even more worse this evening. Brought to you by PlayOnSportsNetwork.com. In the second quarter, this live look right here, we've got Pittsburgh versus De La Salle, tied at 7.
De La Salle comes in undefeated, 10-0 on the season, ranked top 12, number 12 in the country on MaxPreps.com. Excellent top 25, and Steve Spiewak's the guys who put together that ranking. So, Steve, what do you know about De La Salle? I know we've talked about them all year, but what do you know about them coming into this game and their chances and how they match up against Pittsburgh?
Yeah, I think people just expect De La Salle to make it to a CIF bowl game unscathed. But I think Mitch kind of alluded to it last week. It just seemed like, you know, there may be some ingredient missing for the Spartans this year. They haven't blown out teams as easily as they're accustomed to doing. The fact that Pittsburgh is hanging in here 7-7 in the second quarter, I think, speaks to that. In years past, this is a game that De La Salle would almost put on cruise control, and that's no slight at Pittsburgh, a very good program in the Bay Area. But we'll see. You know, I mean, I'll tell you what, guys, it would be no small irony if Mitch Stevens, who has covered De La Salle for 20 years, missed De La Salle's first loss to a Northern California team since the early 90s because he was there in Florida watching Derrick Henry break records. So this is an interesting game to watch. I'm sure, you know, I think the expectation here is that De La Salle will wear down Pittsburgh and in the second half begin to pull away. But a game like this, the longer that Pittsburgh can hang in there, the longer that they can start to believe that they can beat De La Salle. No one, again, from Northern California has beaten De La Salle since, I believe, 1991. So the longer that they can make this game competitive and close, and the more that they can buy into themselves as having a real shot at beating De La Salle, you know, we may see it. Who knows?
The Spartans in green right there, they have won 20 straight section titles in Northern California, so they certainly are as much of a dynasty as possible.
Yeah, and I think it's safe to say that Mitch is okay that he's in Florida covering Henry. Okay, I think he's okay with this. Once again, this live look brought to you by PlayOnSportsNetwork.com, where that game is tied. And, of course, we'll have updates for the remaining of the evening. But now we're going to check in with Steve Spiewak. Stand by, my friend. You've got more updates for us, correct?
Yeah, from the state of North Carolina, Butler won a big game against East Forsyth. East Forsyth, tongue twister, was also undefeated, but Butler advances in the Class 4A state playoffs, so a big win for them. We talked a little bit about the North Carolina playoff bracket in years past, and this is a loaded bracket with teams from across the state. Other parts of the country, some notable games, not too many upsets. St. Thomas Aquinas won down in Florida. I think the Texas playoff brackets, no major upsets in the first round of playoff action there. Same in Florida. And South Carolina, we have the big Goose Creek victory, the nation's number 13 team playing under some murky circumstances, but they got the victory on the field tonight. So no major shocking upsets so far, but we'll certainly be keeping an eye on the De La Salle Pittsburgh game.
Thank you very much. From one Steve, we go to another Steve. Steve Montoya, he is taking us back with 2 Chicago Bears back in high school. Hi, Steve.
The Chicago Bears have to be one of the most exciting defenses to watch in all of football. They seem to score a touchdown in every game. So we're going to look at one of their playmakers here on Way Back When. I am Steve Montoya, and thanks for joining us. Lance Briggs is the featured alum today, but we have a special treat as we're going to double dip and also take a peek at Bears QB Jay Cutler. So let's journey way back when with Lance Briggs and Jay Cutler and their days as prep stars. We start with Lance Briggs and his days growing up in Elk Grove, California, just outside Sacramento. Often Lance Briggs looks like he is as fast as some of the running backs in the NFL. Well, Briggs was an outstanding back with Elk Grove. He was a 3-year letterman and was named the Sacramento Bee Player of the Year for the Thundering Herd, who won the Sac Joaquin Division I title. In that game, Briggs ran for 6 touchdowns. He also finished his senior season with 100+ tackles and 5 sacks. Briggs will go down as one of the best players to ever come from the Sacramento area. To the QB now for the Bears, Jay Cutler. Cutler attended high school at Heritage Hills in Lincoln City, Indiana. He was a 3-year starter and only lost 1 game during his high school career. In his senior season, Cutler threw for over 2,200 yards and led his team to the school's first 3A state championship. Cutler did it on both sides of the ball, as he was also the starting safety all 3 years. Cutler was also a standout on the basketball court and on the baseball diamond. Both Cutler and Briggs won championships while playing in high school. Can they put it together and win one for Chicago is now the question. So far, they are looking pretty good. Until next time, I'm Steve Montoya, and this has been a Way Back When.
Thank you very much, Steve Montoya, for taking us way back then. Yeah, way back. All right, and now it's time to take a live look outside, brought to you by PlayOnSportsNetwork.com. We've got Hamilton versus Desert Ridge. Right now, Desert Ridge is down 14-7 in the fourth quarter.
These are the top 2 teams in the state of Arizona matching up right here in the state semifinals. It's Desert Ridge comes in as the number 2 team in the state, and Hamilton, according to MaxPreps.com computer rankings, the number 1 team in the state. Hamilton 10-2, Desert Ridge 11-1. Steve?
Just saw some tweets on this game, guys. Apparently a Desert Ridge coach went over to the team's offense and said, hey, defense is holding up. It's time for you guys to get going. So be interesting to see if Desert Ridge's offense can make a stand here in the fourth quarter against Hamilton, which after a shaky start has rebounded and had a very nice season.
You see Desert Ridge there in the maroon on offense. The snap, the handoff up the center, not getting very much there on 2nd and 15. The winner of this game will play for a state championship against either Mountain Point or Brophy. That game also going on right now. So we are getting down to the nitty-gritty in the state of Arizona.
Getting down to the wire in this live look brought to you by PlayOnSportsNetwork.com. And of course, yes, you know, we will keep you updated for the remainder of the evening of what's going on with that game and other games that we're keeping our eyes on.
This is MaxPreps Friday Night Live, powered by American Family Insurance.